Hello, happy Tuesday. So, what's on the agenda today? I've just sent an email about all the winter leagues being open for entries. Hadn't done that yet, so that was important. That's the first step, really, to trying to get people signed up for the new winter leagues. Super excited to play in the winter leagues. I do think it's important as well that we carry on looking after ourselves during the winter. It's colder, it's damper, it's more miserable, and you might not want to get out there, but come and play in the tennis league, and you'll keep your fitness going. You don't even have to be outside. You can come and play in the badminton league, be inside, and still keep your fitness going. So, yeah, important to keep it going, especially with all that food you're going to be eating over Christmas. I'll also be starting the first of the adverts today to get people signed up. A little bit concerned that the adverts haven't been working as well, unfortunately for me. I've spent £5,000, nearly £5,000 on adverts this year, which is obviously a lot of money. Some people probably listening to that thinking, fuck. But it's actually a small amount of money probably compared to a lot of companies. Yeah, and I didn't feel like we got as many sign-ups as we could have done with that amount of money, really. But then we did open 4 new leagues this year. So I need to get back on the marketing, just, keep up to date with it all. I'm obviously teaching myself this kind of stuff, so it's a lot of learning, but it's good. I think the one thing that would make a big difference to EJMSL would be if I had someone on board that was brilliant at marketing and could do that. I think it would make such a difference, because we know the leagues are good. We know that they work well. So many people enjoy them. The whole thing's working very well on a very basic level. We don't even have the new website yet. But what we need is obviously to attract people to come and play in the league. So, how do people find out about you? Well, the best way is for people to recommend the leagues, which we do get a lot of people getting their friends involved, which is great. And then the other way is, you want to recruit people that have never heard about the league. So how do you do that? Social media is obviously great for that. I've tried the whole flyers thing. I've got my flyers at many venues in and around Medway, but I think in the 5 years I've been doing this, actually, my flyers have only been out for 3.5, 4 years, I'd say. And when people fill out the form to sign up for a league on the website, they tick which box is relevant in terms of how they found the leagues. One of the options is a flyer. Now, I've only ever had one person ever tick that box and say they heard about the leagues because of a flyer. And me and my nephew Logan did a big job last year where we went round to all the clubs in Medway, putting our flyers on people's cars just for one day, to try and do a bit of marketing for free, if you like. It took us all day, but we still didn't get anyone sign up from that. We did get noticed and a few people messaged me, but yeah, so it's frustrating. Part of the reason I'm doing these videos as well is I hope some people that don't know me might, watch these videos and realise that EJMSL is a real company. We do real leagues, because believe it or not, I do get some people saying, you're a scam. You don't do leagues, whatever. They're calling me a scam, but they obviously don't know anything about it. But I've also had people that have signed up and been worried about that. I remember playing golf with a guy, and I said, how did you signed up for the leagues because you saw my advert on Facebook, didn't you? He said, yeah. He said, to be honest, I did think it might have been a scam because I'd never heard of you. But I thought, you're not going to scam me out of £12. So I signed up. And so luckily he signed up. But that was a good bit of feedback that people do question you when they don't know you. And I get that completely. Like, I'm like that when I'm, buying anything or whatever. I always try and look up and do my research. If I'm buying something online, I don't really like to buy off of a website I don't know, because unfortunately we live in a world where there are a lot of scammers. So that can be frustrating. Yeah, it's a shame when you think about it. If there wasn't scammers out there, how much better businesses would be doing. But I also get people that don't want to pay online as well. They're worried about paying online. My own mum's like that, so I completely get it. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me, trying to build this up. I need to attract more players, and I need to keep the players that we've got. So you've got to keep providing good service, keep providing good value, and also, attract new players. So yeah, just last year I think I didn't get a good return on my investment, ROI if you like, on the adverts. To spend nearly £5,000. I haven't done the exact numbers, but yeah, I don't think I made that in new sign-ups. Whereas the year before I only spent about 1,200, and I think I got that back. I do know things have changed with the social media. Apple's new operating system, iOS, has affected adverts on social media that's being shown on people's Apple phones. I don't know if people are aware about that. Some of you probably will be, some of you not. So yeah, that is also affecting it. So yeah, I'm going to start the adverts today. I'm going to try a different approach. I'm also meeting my friend Tom, who's been doing a promo video for EJMSL on Thursday, and hopefully he can have that for me ready on Thursday and I can launch that. If not, I'm going to have to find another way of getting the adverts out there. My previous technique was to create individual Facebook events and then do an advert for every single event. But, it's a lengthy process and it didn't work very well for me last season. So, yeah, it's tough, it's tricky, but I'll keep working and I'll keep trying to find a way. And yeah, hopefully I can sort that out. Oh, what else? I've had some interesting questions from customers this week. I had one guy that complained about another guy in the league, in the table tennis league, that he put sandpaper on his table tennis bat. And was this allowed? So obviously I had to do my own research, and I also asked a couple of the guys that I know are regular table tennis, league players and play tournaments and stuff, whether it was allowed. It's not allowed generally, so I'm happy to enforce that rule. But then, it could get tricky with disputes down the line. But I do think this is a problem with people that are ultra competitive and very good at the sports. See, I want to try and keep the leagues at a level where, it's a foundation level in terms of competitiveness. I don't want to make them too competitive, because that's not what it's about. There's, if you're good at your sport, whatever it might be, there's loads of competitions out there for you to play if you're good. I really feel like the lack of competitions are for the people that are not playing at a high level. Part of the reason I made these leagues, as people will know, is because I got into tennis. Started playing tennis, wasn't that great to start with, wanted to play in some tournaments, and I couldn't really find any. And the ones I could find, I just got thrashed by the other players. It was just awful experience. So yeah, I've created these leagues so that people of all levels can enjoy them, and they're not designed to be ultra competitive. If you want to be ultra competitive, go and play somewhere else. Because I do find it's these type of players that give me these sorts of questions. people that obviously play at a high level, they lose to someone else that's a high level, and then they complain about it. It's, it causes these disagreements. And it's also why the prizes in the leagues aren't too high. If I was to start giving better prizes, there could be a lot of disputes. And you've got to remember that the games in my leagues are self-refereed. Two people go out and they meet and they play. There's no referee, so I have to be careful with that. I often get a lot of people saying, "Oh, why don't you make the prizes better?" But that's the main reason why I can't make them too good. I don't want disputes. I don't want people getting too competitive. I can do that when I run my own individual tournaments because I'm there refereeing, umpiring, whatever. But when people are meeting on their own, yeah, I can't do that. There's got to be a level of sportsmanship and trust between the players. So yeah, that was an interesting one. What else? Oh yeah, I also had someone message me about not receiving their prize. But this was back in May, they won the league. So, May, what was we, 6 months down the line, and they've messaged me, so I've had to go and search. It was a Sports Direct voucher. So I've had to search for that and try and find it. Which I did do. It was sent on the 16th of June. So hopefully that's all sorted and you can find it. Although I don't know if there's an expiry date on the voucher. There probably is, but it's probably a year. So yeah, I'll have to do that as well. Yeah, as I said, just sent an email about the winter leagues. Going to create that advert now. Oh, and I'm also doing some brainstorming for a tennis tournament. I'm thinking of running a tennis tournament this winter, like a Christmas style event. So I'm working on that, and I'm also sort of just doing some brainstorming for next season. I'm thinking of maybe spreading the leagues out. So currently we run 4 seasons a year. I'm thinking about running 6 and condensing the seasons from 3 months to 2 months. Because what I'm finding is the leagues work best when most of the players involved in a league are proactive and try and get their games done proactively, right? So they're messaging people to get them done. When you get a few people like that, the leagues just run like clockwork. When you've got people that don't make the effort, they don't run well. Sometimes, most of the time, you've got a mix. And the mix works because those people that make the effort to get the games done, they're the heart and soul of these leagues because they're the ones that keep it going. Without them, it'd be a disaster. So, but what I've found with those guys is that when the leagues run really well, they actually finish really quickly. I had a league. Well, I had Jason Duxbury, who won the Southwest London Pool League. He finished all 7 of his matches. I want to say 7. It might have been 8 in 3 weeks, which was so quick. And most of the people are winning very quickly. Sorry, not winning, but playing their matches very quickly. It's only the multi-sports league people I'd be a little bit worried about. But even them, the guys that play in my multi-sports leagues are very proactive as well. People like Connor in Tonbridge, Rob in Bromley, Camille and Jay in Medway, Ali in Southwest London. All these guys play in the multi-sports league regularly. And yeah, they're my absolute favourites because they make such an effort to get all their games done. And they pretty much breeze through it. I think if you enter my leagues and you want to play in the leagues, you want to play regularly. I think reducing the season from 3 months to 2 months will have a really good effect, and people will easily get their games done and want to get them done. And also it's better for the business. Going forward, I'm obviously going to take in more revenue by having 6 seasons rather than 4. It's going to be a lot better for the business. So it's another big bonus. The only thing that was holding me back really was naming the seasons, because at the moment they sit so nicely, spring, summer, autumn and winter. So, oh God, sorry for the yawn. I'm thinking of changing them. I've written them down here. I don't know if you can see. No. I'm thinking of keeping the winter, spring, summer, and autumn, and adding a Christmas league and an Easter league. They're going to be my two extras. I did have a look at different names for seasons, but I think I'm going to go with that. So that's going to be exciting. It's going to be a bit more work for me, but as I said, a bit more revenue. And I think the whole thing will run better for the players, which is the most important thing. Always say it, the most important thing is providing great value to the people that play in my leagues. That's the most important. If you don't do that, you're toast. So yeah, I think it will actually make the run the leagues better, because you've got Jason, for example, that I just mentioned. He's been waiting for the new season a long time now after finishing all his matches in 3 weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, that is an exception and that is quite quick. But yeah, I think 2 months is more than enough for people to get their games done. And I'll also, at the moment, I've been doing leagues up to 10 people, but I'll reduce that to 8 again, so that it's not too many games. Well, actually, different leagues are different for different sports. So it's probably not good for the snooker league because their games take quite a long time. So you probably only want to have 8 players in a snooker league. But for the table tennis, where a game takes 15-20 minutes, you could have 10 players in there easily. Whereas a snooker game, on average, is taking at least 3 frames, because it's best of 4 total. So that's taking minimum an hour and a half, probably average around 2 hours just for one snooker game. So that's okay, having reduced amounts of people for that league. But we want to have more in the table tennis. Table tennis is the quickest out of all my sports, and then probably darts. Darts is fairly quick. I mean, not when I'm playing, because I'm pretty rubbish, but generally it's quite quick. So yeah, there's lots of brainstorming going on at the moment, lots of work, and yeah, personally, I need to practice my football stats today, because I've got my test on Thursday, and then hopefully I can start my new job as a football statistician. And later today, I'm playing in the Tunbridge leagues. I've got a table tennis game against Jeremy Turner at 5, and then it's straight off to play some darts against Ben Obbard and Charlie Shaw. So yeah, looking forward to those. Me and Jeremy, looks like it's going to be a very tight game. Look quite evenly matched on paper, looking at our other results. The darts, me and Ben should be an even match as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm expecting an annihilation from Charlie against me. If I can steal a leg, I'll be happy. But yeah, that's it. Nothing else to update you on. This has been my longest video so far. It's been helpful actually for me, this video, to try and talk things through in my head, and say it out loud what I'm sort of thinking about. So it's been good. Thanks for watching. Did I play any games at the weekend? Didn't play any games at the weekend, but I did play on Friday. I played tennis and table tennis against Michael Springett. Good fun with Michael. His table tennis improved a lot. Was fortunate enough to win both those games, so happy with that. And yeah, looking at my season so far as a player, hopeful that I'm going to win the Bromley Multi-Sports League, but I'm well up against it in Tonbridge. Connor's probably going to beat me there. And in Medway, I've decided not to play a third sport. I'm too far behind. The golf's not been a good season for me in Medway so far. I've lost 3 out of 3, so that's not been good. But the one that I want is the Medway Tennis League. I've said it before, that's my most important league. But it's going to be so tough. I've got 4 tough games to go. But on the positive side, I've beat the best player in it, which is good, the defending champion. But he's got his bonus point, so I can't afford to slip out. If I lose to anyone, the title race is over. I've got to win every game, so going to be really tough. I'm playing Ashley Jolly this Thursday and Mike Radzitsky on Friday. 2 big games. But yeah, we'll see how we go on. I'll end it there. Just about to come up to the 20-minute mark. Have a great week. And yeah, that's my update. As always, any advice or anything, please just let me know. I realise as well that comments are turned off on these videos. I didn't realise that. I only just realised it's because I click the Made for Kids button when I upload these videos, because I just thought, well, I'm not swearing or anything, so they're okay for kids to watch. But that means comments get turned off, so that's not ideal. So I will have to untick that box because I would like some comments. Anything that you want me to talk about or any feedback you got for me, any advice is always welcomed. Thanks so much.